Hello everyone, this is Miss Chelsea and today we'll be learning about stoichiometry. We are going to go ahead and look at the show what you know examples. So example 1 is if 20.0 grams of KClO3 is decomposed into potassium chloride and oxygen, how many grams of KCl can be recovered? Let's go ahead and try setting up our mole ratios so that we can figure out what information we need. Well, we are going to look for blank grams of KCl and we have 20.0 grams of KClO3. That means that we need a molar mass so that we can put grams of KClO3 on bottom and 1 mole of KClO3 on top. We then need to figure out the mole ratio between KClO3 and KCl. So we are going to need to balance our equation. And finally, we will need to find the molar mass of KCl. So we can put moles on bottom and grams on top, and that way our units will cancel out and give us what we want. To find the molar mass of KClO3, we know that there is 1 potassium with a mass of 39.10. We also know that there is 1 chlorine with a molar mass of 35.45. And finally, there are 3 oxygens, each with a mass of 16, for a total of 48. If we add all of these up, we get a molar mass of potassium chlorate of 122.55. To find the molar mass of potassium chloride, we're going to add 1 atom of potassium, which has a molar mass of 39.10, and 1 atom of chlorine, which has a molar mass of 35.45, to get a molar mass of KCl of 74.55. Now, in order to get our mole ratio, we will need to set up and balance our equation. If KClO3 is decomposed into potassium chloride and oxygen, that means we have KClO3 yields KCl plus O2. To balance the oxygens, we will need 6 of each, so we will need 2 KClO3s and 3 O2s. This means that we now have an extra potassium on the left and chlorine, so we need an extra potassium chloride on the right. So our balanced equation is 2 KClO3 yields 2 KCl plus 3 O2. That means that in our problem, we're going to have 2 moles of KCl on top and 2 moles of KClO3 on bottom. Alternatively, we could simplify our ratio and put 1 mole of KCl on top and 1 mole of KClO3 on bottom. Either way, we're going to double check, make sure units cancel, then we're going to multiply all the numbers on the top row and divide by the ones on the bottom. Therefore, 12.17 grams of potassium chloride can be recovered. Keep in mind this number will vary slightly based off of the molar mass you used from your periodic table. For number 2, silver nitrate reacts with barium chloride in a double replacement reaction. If 10 grams of silver nitrate is reacted, how many grams of barium nitrate will be produced? First of all, we need to cross the charges of barium and nitrate to get the chemical formula BaNO3 2. Now, blank grams of BaNO3 is equal to 10.0 grams of AgNO3. Since we're doing a gram conversion, that means we need to convert from grams to moles by finding the molar mass of sodium nitrate. We then need to do a mole-to-mole ratio to convert the silver nitrate to barium nitrate, and finally convert the moles of barium nitrate back to grams by using our molar mass. This allows our units to cancel and we are left with grams of BaNO3 like we wanted. In silver nitrate, there is 1 silver with a mass of 107.87 for a total of 107.87. There is 1 nitrogen with a mass of 14.01 for a total of 14.01. And finally, there is 3 oxygens with a mass of 16 for a total of 48.00. Now add all the elements together to get a molar mass of 169.88 grams per mole for sodium nitrate and plug this into our setup. Now, 1 barium has a mass of 137.33. Then 2 nitrogens, each with a mass of 14.01, gives us a product of 28.02. 6 oxygens with a mass of 16 each gives us 96. And we can add all these up to get our molar mass of barium nitrate, which is 261.35 grams per mole, and we can plug this in for our mass of barium nitrate. Let's set up and balance our equation. We have silver nitrate and barium chloride, giving us silver chloride and barium nitrate because we have a double replacement reaction, the ending switch. And we're going to cross our charges to get those chemical formulas. Now, notice how we have an extra nitrate on the right. We need an extra silver nitrate on the left. Now we have too much silver on the left, so we add the silver chloride on the right, and we have a balanced equation. So now we use our chart to answer the question. 10 times 261.35 divided by 169.88 divided by 2. This will give us 7.69 grams of barium nitrate. For number 3, we ask ourselves, using the above reaction, how many grams of barium chloride were required. We already know the equation from the previous problem. We also know the molar mass of silver nitrate is 169.88 grams per mole.
So we want to know how many grams of barium chloride are required to react with 10 grams of silver nitrate. To figure this out, we need to set up our chart. We want to get rid of grams of silver nitrate and make grams of barium chloride. To do this, we first need to convert grams of silver nitrate to moles of silver nitrate using the molar mass, then convert moles of silver nitrate to moles of barium chloride using our balanced equation. Finally, we can convert moles of barium chloride to grams of barium chloride. We already know the molar mass of silver nitrate as well as the balanced equation. So let's focus on finding the molar mass of barium chloride. There is one atom of barium with a mass of 137.33, and there are 2 atoms of chlorine, each with a mass of 35.45 to make 70.90, and then we add these together to get 208.23. Plugging this in, multiplying by the top and dividing by the bottom, we get a final mass of 6.13 grams of barium chloride. In problem 4, zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid in a single replacement reaction. In order to produce 22.8 grams of hydrogen, how much zinc is required? To answer this, we are going to write and balance our chemical equation. Zinc plus hydrochloric acid yields zinc chloride plus hydrogen. Now we need to balance our equation. We have not enough of hydrogen or chlorine, so we make 2 HCl's. And then, now that everything's balanced, we can figure out our molar mass. So 2 times 1.01 is 2.02 grams of hydrogen, and zinc chloride has a molar mass of 65.38 according to the periodic table. Now that we know this, we can figure out how many grams of zinc we need by taking 22.8 grams of hydrogen and converting it to moles of hydrogen using the molar mass. Once we cancel out our grams, we now need to convert moles of hydrogen to moles of zinc. So, according to our lovely balanced equation, 1 mole of hydrogen gives us 1 mole of zinc. Finally, we convert moles of zinc to grams using the molar mass. Now that we cancel everything out, multiply all the numbers on top, divide by the numbers on bottom, and you get 738. Using the above reaction, how many grams of zinc chloride will be produced? Well, first of all, we already know our balanced equation as well as the molar mass of hydrogen. That means that we can go ahead and find the molar mass of zinc chloride by taking 1 zinc atom with a mass of 65.38 and 2 chlorine atoms, each with a mass of 35.45, giving us a total of 70.90 for chlorine, and then add those together to get the molar mass of zinc chloride, which is 136.28 grams per mole. Now that we know all of our facts we need, we are going to take our 22.8 grams of hydrogen, convert that to moles of hydrogen using our molar mass of 2.02. That cancels out the grams. Now we're going to convert moles of hydrogen to moles of zinc chloride. Using our balanced chemical equation, we know it's 1-to-1 ratio. So now that we've got moles of zinc chloride, we need to convert that to grams of zinc chloride using the molar mass. Double check our units, make sure everything cancels, and we can multiply by the top, divide by the bottom to get 1,538 grams of zinc chloride. Once again, the answers you get actually depend on the periodic table you use and how exact their mass is. So these are all possible correct answers, even though they are slightly different from the ones we got before.